Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the grand finals of Monster Energy Dota Summit 30 online tournament. It is against Team Liquid versus Viking GG. One of these teams will emerge victorious and claim this tournament in the first place position. Meanwhile, the other one will go home second place. Not really a huge insult, but even still, no one wants to go home losing. This is all to play for now between these two teams. We'll see who has the power to bring it, who has the power to lose it. We'll see if anyone runs away or someone runs and hides. I'm sure we're about to find out. It's going to be a good series, I hope. Both of these two teams are able to perform pretty damn well so far this tournament. We'll see if they're able to take this into the grand finals. It should be good, hopefully. The Team Liquid, they ban out Faceless Void. Always is that really obnoxious carry hero, especially when played by Shad. He does like to pick it up quite a bit. Viking GG, they take away the Slardar and the Lone Druid. You never want the Lone Druid to fall into the hands of Kuiper. It's an absolute horrible thing to have to play up against. And then Slardar always in the hands of Boxy as well. It's too much to play around. In Liquid, they take out the Lina as well. Seems out there is a hero that can go on Boom's hands in the mid lane, or even put onto Aramis in position 4. Quite flexible pick from Viking.g, so they will just take that away from them. We'll see what these two teams are going to roll up with. The Snapfire is available, and it is Viking GG's top pick for quite a while. Swiftly followed by the Rubik. We sometimes like to open up with them, so we'll see if that's what they're going to go for this time. Viking GG are taking quite a lot of their time already for just the first pick. Is this going to be the standard IO? Nothing too crazy there. Generally, if you don't see this hero banned, you're going to see it picked. And sure enough, that's what we see. First pick as well for the side of Viking. See what Liquid are going to grab for their first pick. They are pretty flexible with their first ones. They go all over the place sometimes. So see what they're going to prioritise. Maybe they grab something like the Oracle. Oh, Oracle. There it is. Nailed it. So Oracle comes up. It's always that really safe position 5 that they love to put into the hands of Insania. The man does so well on it. So as they picked up a pretty defensive position 5, they're going to be after picking up a relatively late game-ish carry. Someone that doesn't offer too much threat in the early portions of the game, but someone you just want to keep live and make sure they can carry on farming. And Oracle definitely does that. So potentially going to see something like a Spectre pickup. They do like to run that with the Oracle. Viking GG, they're actually going to grab the Sven. So Sven, used to see it in this current patch at the very start. It used to be spammed out continuously by every single team. It has dropped off a little bit of favorability for a lot of people, but even still, it's a very high demand pick, and Viking going to grab it now. Liquid just can grab the Timbersaw, so that's going to be... They want to make sure they got that now before he got banned out in the second phase. Because it's pretty difficult for a Sven to lane up against a Timbersaw. Just that whirl in death, reducing his base stats, making him a little bit more squishy. Just means the Sven's going to struggle just a little bit to farm in the early portions. It's not going to be like hugely pressured, but even still, it will slow him down just that little bit. You may even see just Boxy run away if he has a good enough lane. We'll see what they're going to put into the hands of Tiger to pair up with him. Maybe go full aggression. Maybe just going to try and stall him out. We'll have to see what Liquid are going to favour. They could potentially, or generally when you've got a Timbersaw, it's a hero that once he gets his level 3, they've got those 2 levels into the reactive armour, you want to just sort of leave him alone and just let him sit in that lane. So we'll probably see a position 4 that likes to roam around the map, and Tiger loves to play a Earth Spirit in that situation. So I could definitely see that being picked up soon. Viking GG now, they're going to ban out all the sort of heroes that love the effects from the Oracle False Promise. So Troll's definitely one of them. I guess removed from the pool. I imagine they'll probably ban out the Spectre as well. Maybe even a Lifestealer. It can be quite difficult for the Sven to Superman onto him. He just pops that rage before he gets hit, and then he doesn't get stunned. He can turn around and try and man fight up against the Sven. And depends how his farm goes, he might be able to do that against the God Strength, but it's definitely no easy task, that's for sure. Seems like Liquid focusing most of their bans towards Boom for the mid lane. Take away that Invoke already, with the leaning on as well. So maybe Toby might get an easier pick on one of his favourable offlaners. I think he does like to play the Mars quite a lot, so we could potentially see that coming out. Or even a Bloodseeker. Bloodseeker's not too bad. Especially up against a Timbersaw there. If you put the Rupture on him, he just ends up doing so much damage for himself with those Timber Chains. So that could be the way to go. I can see that happening. And it's also a good way to lock down the Sven in those team fights as well, stop him from running around and just hitting into people. It is the one thing that Sven really suffers is the fact that he can get kited out. The way they changed him and gave him so his Ags turns him into Superman, it does make it a little bit easier, but even still, if he gets hit by a Rupture, it will make it quite difficult for him to move around. So could even see the Bloodseeker coming out for the side of Liquid. Viking take away the Lifestealer as their final ban, and then Liquid take away the Void Spirit. We're still focusing towards their mid lane and the off lane picks. Liquid, they grab that Earth Spirit, so that will definitely be in the hands of Tiger. So they're going to be trying to grab a hero for Koifer in the mid lane that can really benefit from the Earth Spirit rolling in and trying to set up a few ganks. Could potentially see something like the Visage. That could work. We'll have to. I think they're gonna have to wait to see what the other picks from Viking are. Otherwise, they could just go for a Storm Spirit, which Koifer definitely does enjoy playing. That's for sure. Just loves zip zapping in and out, back and forth. Shocky, some peeps. Viking are going to pick up the Undying, so that will be in the hands of Aramis. Be a position for Undying, or even still, not necessarily true. Solari could play this as the position 5, and then Aramis could actually take the IO as the 4. But then, yeah, it could potentially see. It depends what they're going to grab for their offlaner, but you're most likely going to see this IO in the hands of Solari for that 5. So this will be a position 4 Undying, most likely. Liquid will actually grab that Storm Spirit now. Even though it's not like there's some key targets just yet, there is the IO that you can jump onto. But more often than not, the IO, he's going to be with that Sven, so the Sven will be able to just turn around and start whacking onto the Storm Spirit if he's not careful. So Koifer would probably have to, once he gets his Orc online, zip him, silence the Sven, and then start focus onto the IO. Otherwise, he's going to get locked down himself, and it'll be an easy target. Could potentially see something like a Beastmaster, perhaps, coming out for Viking. Put that in the hands of Toby. So if Koifer's trying to zip in and out, trying to be elusive, you can just hit him with that Roar, hold him in place, and then Sven will easily be able to get on top of him and just start laying into him. So Viking do go for that Bloodseeker. Also a good target onto the Storm Spirit as well, rupturing him up. So Koifer's going to have to be a little bit careful about how he tries to engage onto these fights. He's got to be super careful that that Rupture isn't online, he just jumps straight towards that Bloodseeker. The Viking, they take away the Spectre. Still just that position 1 left on the side of Liquid. So they're still sort of after a hero that can really benefit from this Oracle's assistance. Could see something like a Luna, perhaps. A Luna might not be too bad. Be able to stand this ground then and just swing those glaives endlessly and have a lot of bounces flying around. I can't quite think of what other sort of position one they would pick up that would really benefit from this Oracle. Meanwhile, Viking GG, they're still after their mid laner. I mean, they've got the damage that's coming out from Sven and then the magic damage from the Bloodseeker, but even still, it's not a huge amount. So they're going to need someone else that can actually assist in laying down the hurt. I know the Boom, he does sometimes like to play the Shadow Fiend. I mean, it's definitely quite... it wouldn't be a good Shadow Fiend game. It's too easy for the Earth Spirit or the Timbersaw or even the Storm Spirit just to get on top of you, and the Shadow Fiend's just too damn squishy. It wouldn't work out, I don't think. Be a little bit too risque. So it could potentially... Well, I mean, even something like the Queen of Pain can do a little bit of damage, but again, if she gets caught by the roll that comes in from Tiger, hits by the silence, as well as there can be a silence eventually coming out from Storm Spirit as well, it would be quite nasty. So they take away the Zeus. Definitely would be one of those heroes that just like to sit at the back, throwing out as much damage as he possibly can, so the Sven isn't just completely on his own, trying to kill the entire team. They do actually go for the Queen of Pain, so there will be that damage that will be coming out from her, but I mean, Queen of Pain's not exactly the tankiest hero in the world, so it could die pretty quickly if he gets caught out. But Liquid actually go for the anti-mage, so it's not sort of like your traditional pairing you see with an Oracle, but it definitely works, especially with the Fortune's. Was it Diabolic Edict? No, I think it's the Fortune's End. The Oracle's stun thing. You can target onto the anti-mage, he blinks forward, starts hitting someone, and then the stun flies in afterwards, connects onto the anti-mage, stuns whoever he's hit him. So it's going to be quite difficult for Toby, purely for the fact that obviously you tend to see the Bloodseekers nowadays are spamming out that Blood Riot as much as they possibly can, but if he's not got the mana to do that, it's going to be pretty difficult for him to control this anti-mage in this lane, especially once the AM gets his level 3 and that mana burn starts to do real work. But it is actually Aramis on the IO. So it is a sort of pseudo position 4. But even still, it's an IO that's going to be paired up with Sven. So it's not exactly like it's going to be the most farmed IO in the world. Apart from that, all the picks on the side of Liquid fall into the roles that you just expect. Nothing crazy going on there. So here we go for game 1 between Liquid and Viking.gg. We'll see who's able to take this. It'll definitely be an exciting match. And as I was saying earlier, both these teams have been performing really dominantly so far in this tournament. So we'll see if they're able to keep this form going on. It's a brand new day for both these teams. No one's had to play any sort of games beforehand before they entered into this tournament. Just this match, sorry, not the whole tournament. Maybe a few of them have just been playing some pubs, warm up their fingers, grease the joints, as it were. Violin stabs. So it's 4 heroes on the side of Liquid, all grouped up in their triangle. Maybe thinking that the side of Viking potentially might have been trying to do some sort of aggressive play towards their bounty, and they maybe could have caught them out on the high ground, but unfortunately for them, no one's there. Even the entirety of Vikings is pretty spread out. They have got Aramis. Looks like he's going to just get the little aggressive wall down in the corner of the safe lane on Liquid side. Even still, pretty chill start. No one even dare going into the water. Don't want to get their feet wet just yet.
But you didn't.
Thought maybe Shab was going to make a run for the bounty rune then. He sort of positioned himself, getting ready to do it. But he has a better change of judgment. Ooh, Mickey. Look like he tried maybe going in to try and snatch that bounty rune. It ended up costing him a lot of HP. Never mind, the man's got 9 tangos. 9 tangos. Absolutely bananas amount of regen. So we'll see how the position for Io paired up with Toby goes. Seems that it is the Io away from the Sven. Nice dodge there by Mickey. Make sure he gets the deny into the range creep and manages to bail out, avoids all the damage. Definitely nice little cute play. Meanwhile, Slarey he's just going to be spending his entire time trying to zone out Boxy as much as he possibly can. Already hit with 2 stacks of the decay. Seems to be another one. And Boxy's had to take Timber Chains, already level 1, just so he can get away from this. But even still, this isn't going to help him farm at all, or delay the farm from Shad. He's just... It's like Benny Hill. Someone needs to start playing the music. Boxy, he's had to retreat all the way back to his tier 1. So it's definitely not the ideal start for Boxy, but Tiger did get the pull back all the way behind the tier 1. So finally the creep equilibrium might start going back towards Boxy's tier 1. One creep's been missed and the other one's actually got pulled from the side camp, so never mind. I mean, the Undyne's away from him, so it's a little bit of space. Meanwhile in the mid, Koifer, he's just about in the lead. 10 and 2 to the 8 and 1. Well, it's probably going to be 11 and 2 actually, as soon as he gets that creep. So 3 CS ahead. What was that song? Is the Benny Hill song. Ooh, meanwhile down bottom, Toby's taking a bit of damage, but the heals comes out there from Aramis and lets him stand his ground. It's actually Mickey who has to retreat. Just had a little tiff. Having a little tickle fight with some very heavy feathers. Both of these like weird Scyther blades. Weird people. Despite the fact that Solaire has been doing a real top job of zoning out Boxy, I would have thought Shab would just have like near perfect CS, but I mean, he's only 9 out of 5 at the moment. 10. But even still, I would have thought it would have been much higher than that. So maybe it's just a little bit of mistimed CS. Those powerful melee creeps. It's hard to outclick them, that's for sure. You're on the mid, looks like Tiger's rotated around. He's actually rolled straight forward to bot. Boom, he actually connects. Ooh, Boom, just gets his blink off in time before the auto attack from Koifer actually lands. And that is actually enough to keep him alive. Ooh, Slarey even finds Tiger's courage, charged across the river. It's like, I've got your stick, bro. Take the stick. And he's dead. He tried. Slarey even gets a nice little D-ward. Little bit of bonus gold in his pocket. Ward money is the only thing that keeps supports moving in this game. But now Solari's moved away from this lane. Box is able to be a little bit more aggressively positioned. Going for a 1-1-1 build. Oh, meanwhile, down bottom, Tiger actually makes the rotation around, and that lets Mickey get the first blood onto Aramis. So nice chunk of gold going into his hands. He's even just going to grab that ring of health straight away. Now he's going to have a pretty easy time just to sustain himself in this lane. A passive 9.5 HP regen. Got that like permanent tango on the go. Cheeky double damage bowled up for Boom. But you have to be a little bit careful. He's engaging onto Boom, even rolling him coming up from Tiger. Does quite a bit of damage, and his Blink's still on cooldown for 1 more second, and he's not actually going to get it off in time. Tiger and Koifer get the kill. I think Boom just thought he got a little bit overconfident there. The fact that he had this double damage, thinking he was going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with the Storm Spirit, but in comes that cheeky Earth Spirit. This is the problem when Tiger plays this hero. He's just so damn active across the map. Especially when he's got his lane pairing as a Timbersaw. Timbersaw does not care at all if the F-Spirit's not there. Looks like Solari's just going to be making a few stacks in the jungle now. Just to give the Sven a good farming points later on. Looks like the bounties are probably 2 for 2. Never mind. No one from the side of Liquid actually came up top to check it. They will grab both of those. Meanwhile, boom, he gets pretty damn low. Again, Tiger comes into this mid lane to get another kill on the board, but Tiger, he had his blink up online this time. You know, you think you see some like real pro plays. Koifa just hands his bottle over to Tiger and then says, "Here, go fill my bottle up for me." And that's exactly what he does. But unfortunately for him, Solari, the slippery little bastard, he's just stolen away the bounty rune. Oh dear. Tiger pings it out and they didn't get a single bounty at the 5-minute mark. Ouchie wowa. Even still, it is just those like first bounties, so what are they each? 50 gold each. So in total, it's 500 gold missing from the team. The fact they lost all those bounties. We're on the mid. Tiger, he comes in again once more. Gets a roll connection onto Boom, but he's got his silence online now. So Boom could not blink away. And that's just another goddamn kill. Well, Liquid. I mean, all their lanes are going relatively well so far. Mickey. It should be alright. I mean, like as I was saying, because it's a 5-minute bounties, it's not exactly like it's a huge, massive difference. It just means it's 100 gold less for everyone on your team and 100 gold more for everyone on the other team. So it ends up being 1,000 gold swing, technically. But the fact that it's all that money split across every single hero, that it's not even enough to buy a salve. So it just helps get an item just a tiny little bit sooner. But yeah, it's not like it changes the swing of the game massively. It's basically like 2 last hits, maybe 2.5. We'll see how much. Best part of 40 gold per creep. So yeah, it's just over 2.3 creeps is pretty much what 2 bounties is worth. Stats on it. Oh. Koifa actually manages to get the tower ready. 7 minutes and 50 seconds in, and the Storm Spirit is able to take down the tier 1 tower. I mean, poor Boom though, he's just been harassed so heavily in this mid lane. Just perfect rotations coming up from Tiger. He's not doing too bad on the XP front. He's only like a quarter of a level behind Koifa, despite the game that he's been having so far. But even still, his CS is... Yeah, even that's not too bad. 11 CS behind. Where is it like for the net worth? 500 gold difference between the 2 mid laners. Honestly, I thought it'd be a lot worse, seeing as how badly he has been harassed, but he doesn't mind that too badly. We're on the top. Moxie's making the moves onto Solari solo, and he actually is able to get it. He's even going to be able to farm up this this tombstone. He'll be able to get that nice and easy. Like Koifa and Tiger rotating into the jungle, trying to find the Sven. But fortunately enough for him, he'd already farmed up those stacks and managed to bail in time. So Strad's sitting comfortably at the top of that net worth chart at the moment. Even a quad stack now on the Ancients, double stack on the normal creeps. He's just going to pop his God Strength. Oh no, he's not going to pop his God Strength. I imagine he will pop his God Strength when he goes for this stack there. I don't know if he'll be able to go for it now because he's already hurt half HP. He'll have to regen first. But even still, because of the natural cleave damage that the Sven comes with, it means he's a full 900 gold over the top of Mickey already. And Mickey, he's closing in towards that first Battle Fury. He's only about 700 gold away, so he will have it online. And it's well read by Mickey as well, because sometimes you see with like anti-mages, they'll probably like get the brown boots and maybe a Wraith Band or two, maybe even finishing up their boots before going for that Battle Fury. But he realises he's up against the Sven, and the Sven's going to be able to just outpace his farm so damn much that he has to go for this Battle Fury as soon as he possibly can, just to be able to match the pace. It does mean he's slightly weaker in the laning phase, but Insane has always had his presence around here, able to provide Mickey with much assistance as he's needed. So he's not been threatened at all. Spoxy nearly got that mechanism. He's only 100 gold now away. You have that really nice timing. Koifa, yeah, how much is that away from the... He's pretty close to the Orchid himself, actually. 800, 12, 13... He's about 200 gold away from finishing up his own Orchid as well at 11 minutes in. That's pretty damn nice. And the entirety of Team Liquid have all gathered up to take down this tier 2 tower. And there's no glyph, it's already been used. So it looks like they might actually be able to get this. Vikings going to try and respond by taking a tier 1 down bottom, but I mean, Liquid don't care about that at all. If they could take a tier 2 tower at 11 minutes in, that's pretty damn crazy. Now there's just going to be that option to take the outpost away, come close to that 20-minute mark. Imagine it will still be taken away from their hands soon. Koifa even actually managing to get over here and taking that creep stack that was made by Insania before the side of Viking can steal it away. So nice little movement by him. Gonna have that Orchid online coming on the courier. Even Mech now finished up for Boxy. Battle Fury now online for Mickey. So every single, just all these key items being finished up for the side of Liquid. They can start making some magic happen. Well, I mean, Mickey's not going to start making some magic happen. He's going to make some magic happen in the jungle, killing creeps for the next few minutes. But even still, it's a nice little power spike for the rest of his team. But it looks like Viking are on the hunt now. They've all smoked up and they will find Boxy as the first target. They've hit him with the open wounds. He's going for a straight TP out. There's no cancel on anyone. And he knows that. He just bails straight away. The Yule Scepter still 400 gold away from being finished on Boom. But, I mean, the only one on the entirety of Viking actually has a stun is Shad. So, I mean, well read there by Boxy, noticing that, and it's like, yeah, okay, you found me. You've used your spells. See ya. I'm gone. What's your little open wounds on my robot arms going to do? Jump fall from Koifa, gets the silence on Toby, rolling fall from Tiger as well. They're trying to control him as much as they can. It looks like he will eventually fall down. The Viking came over to try and lend a bit of assistance, but it was too late, and Toby had already fallen. There's now an Echo Saber online for Shad, as well as the Hand of Midas. So Shad's going for like just full farm mode. Even though he does have the natural cleave to assist him farm, he suspects this lane's going to go, this game's going to go quite late. He's going to try and get as many uses out of this Hand of Midas as he possibly can. They're doing a pretty good job at just funneling loads and loads of farm into his hands. Able to farm up this ancient stack pretty damn easy. So he's 8.5k gold. Meanwhile, Koifa's only 6.1, so he is pretty rich in comparison to everyone else. He's actually just going for that next item with the Blink Dagger. I mean, this is what an item used to see really long time ago in the hands of Sven's, when there wasn't the Aghanim's ability just to fly on top of people. He had to rely on that Blink Dagger. So he's going to go for an old style build and see if it ends up paying off. It looks like maybe a fight's going to break out. Liquid position up to try and get gank to Shad. But they don't know that the rest of Viking is nearby. Two of them smoked up. And the other three are just pretty close. Koifa positioned himself in the lane. He sees the Stormhammer come and he's able to dodge it pretty easily. Now it just looks like everyone on Liquid's just falling back. Koifa just making himself a little wall of vision. Doesn't see the Toby just sat there waiting for him. We'll actually see the Blood Rite. He pops out just to greet Toby. He says, "Hello, I'm going to kill you now." He actually has enough damage to pretty much kill him solo. Aramis, he zipped in, tried to help him out with the mechanism heal there, but it wasn't enough. Fortunately, it doesn't cost him his life though. He's able to get away from that. But that Blink Dagger, it's now on Shad. So that engagement would have gone a lot better if he could have just gone immediately on top of that Storm Spirit and didn't have to go for the long range Storm Hammer. So we might see him get a grab coming out pretty soon. I wonder what his actual reason is in going for this Blink Dagger rather than the Ags. Oh, never mind. Aramis, he gets caught out, taking quite a bit of damage, but everyone from the side of Viking rotates around. Koifa just gets blown up when he tries to go for the TP out. It's not enough to keep him alive. Aramis will actually fall to the shockwave coming out from the Earth Spirit, but even still, nice 2 kills there for the side of Viking, taking away that Storm Spirit. It's his first death on the board. Yeah, well, as I was saying, just the reasons behind the Blink Dagger on Shad rather than the Aghanims. I mean, maybe it is purely just to be able to get on top of this Storm Spirit. The fact that, as we saw in that previous engagement, the Storm Spirit can easily see the Storm Hammer coming and is able just to zip away before it actually connects. So with the Blink Dagger, it's a bit more of an instant initiation, a bit more difficult for Koifa to try and dodge it out. Could be the potential reason why. Viking will position around Boxy, maybe thinking about going onto it, but there's a pretty damn target to get, especially seeing as though he has Guardian Grooves available. They're actually going to completely skip it. They see Insania with the high ground vision, and they immediately pop him up, even using the God Strength on Shad just to completely melt that support. Shad's keep the pressure going. He realises Tiger's down here. Ooh, towards the river. Koifa starting to engage on Solaire, getting pretty low, but Aramis comes in with the heal. Even the Tombstone now up on the high ground, the side Liquid just has to bail out, otherwise his Tombstone is going to wreak real havoc. Boxy gets caught out by the stun coming out from Shad. It takes so damn long for them to actually bring him down though, he's just so tanky. And it's actually just going to force everyone from Viking to fall back. So no one ends up falling there, pretty close for Solaire going down, but nice save from Aramis, keeps him alive. So that the gold lead between the gold lead between Shad and Mickey, it's shrinking slowly. It's only about 1,500 gold now difference. So Mickey's doing a pretty good job at catching up, despite the fact that the Sven also has a Hand of Midas now. Well, not now, but has a Hand of Midas to just be another thing to ramp up his farm. So Liquid's just positioned themselves quite aggressively in the enemy triangle. Maybe waiting, lurking, hiding. Wanted to see if anyone just walked up the high ground into their waiting arms, but no such luck. Everyone on the side of Vikings is off on the other side of the map, farming away. Double damage spawns. I think if Vikings saw that, they might have tried to put this into the hands of Shad and then potentially move into the Roshan pit. Toby's actually just going to grab it. They don't have no interest in doing that. But Toby's actually going for the first line with the Rod of Atos. Maybe realising that it is literally just Shad that has the ability to cancel TP. So finally they have something else. I mean, actually Boom has the Eul Scepter as well. So they've got a couple of things now that can set people up. Stop people from just easily retreating away. Down bomb, looks like Liquid able to just clear up this tier 1 tower for free. No contest on the side of Viking. Jump forwards from Koifa, they're trying to find Toby. They will finally get a connection onto it, but Aramis is here. He heals him up pretty damn nicely. He's dropping pretty low there. Where did all that damage come from? He just disappeared. The open wounds on Boxy, but he's taking no damage. This guy does not care. Look at that. He's just running with open wounds on, and it's doing absolutely nothing. Is it still level 1 open wounds? It is still level 1 open wounds. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's really sad. Especially for an off-lane Bloodseeker at nearly 20 minutes in. Especially with the fact that Liquid's going to be able to control up this outpost as well. So he's not even going to be able to get that little bonus XP boost to push him onto that level 11. So we'll be delayed a little bit. Meanwhile, in the mid, looks like Shad trying to potentially start something on Boxy, or maybe they're just trying to force him back. They definitely don't want to overcommit, especially not onto the Timber. They go for an immediate smoke, but that ward perfectly sees it. So Liquid knows this is going on. They might potentially set up some sort of counterplay, but Boxy, he actually just positioned himself to just pop the smoke on everyone on Viking and just bails out completely. There's a regen rune down bottom. Mickey, he looked like he might have been able to deny it, but instead he's just going to prioritise that bounty down the bottom, which is definitely a higher rune target. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade for the side of Liquid there. So BKB online for Shad now as well. It's definitely going to be a bit more difficult for Tiger and Kuiper to be able to try and lock down Shad in these fights. He's just going to pop that BKB into Clary on charging. Meanwhile, up top, it looks like Tiger actually ends up getting caught with the open wounds. He's going for the TP out. No one's there to cancel it. Oh no, Boom's Yule Scepter was on cooldown. The Rod of Atos on Toby was on cooldown. What happened? What happened? That should have been such an easy kill. Even Shady TP'd in to try and stop that, but I think he'd already used the Stormhammer down bottom to farm up the creep wave. So even though they had 3 ways of cancelling that TP, they couldn't cancel the TP. Tiger easily escapes, gets away with his life once again. Because of Viking, they need to find something. Gold leads are slowly climbing more and more into Team Liquid's favour, as pretty much all 3 cores on the side of Liquid are farming pretty well. Meanwhile, it's basically just Shad on the side of Viking that's really getting much farm. They've been dedicating a lot to creep stacks and everything just to try and ramp him up and get him online as fast as possible. But we've not seen too much come out of it just yet. It looks like we might potentially see something. Shad dumping forwards. The nice use of the Orchid there from Kuiper to silence him up before he's able to use the stun onto Tiger. He lets his teammates roll away. Looks like the rest of Viking, they did actually see Mickey. Once again, now they see Boxy. They might potentially go for him with open wounds used once again. But Boxy doesn't care. Look, all this distance, he's still so damn tanky. Healing up. Insania just trying to save him as much as possible. Boxy still stood in the front. Ultimate comes out there from Boom. He's still so damn healthy. The False Promise finally comes out. Boxy's going to be able to live through this. Kuiper jumps in. Toby's going to drop pretty damn fast. He's getting low, but he's actually able to survive still. We'll see how much HP Boxy able to come back. He's pretty much at full HP. Boxy's still just zipping in and out of this fight, being super obnoxious. But he finally gets stunned in place. Shad just brings him down in a second. Now Tiger ends up getting stuck in there all on his own. He just ends up falling as well. So Viking actually comes out on top of that whole engagement, which is quite surprising. It looked like it was going to end up going Liquid's favour. But because it's a 4-on-5 situation, just Mickey's off farming on his own. But he's taking the tier 2 tower in the mid. But even still, that is the first big engagement the Vikings... Well, I say big engagement. It's still only 2 kills, but it's 2 kills more than they've previously got in any of these fights. They're on the hunt now for Mickey, trying to find him as much as they can. Boom will see him. But he can't even get the catch. Boom with the Yule Scepter wouldn't have been able to do anything with that counter spell that could have come out with Mickey. So Mickey just going for that Skadi's next item. Make him an extra bit of tanky with the slow on top. Especially with the status resistance. Does the Skadi have status resistance? I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to check. Skadi. No, it doesn't have any status resistance. Just reduces lifesteal and mana and magic lifesteal. And slow. Slow to keep up. Tiger, they're all at 40. Actually connects onto Soleri. He's all alone for the rest of his team. Vikings coming over pretty quickly to try and lend a bit of assistance. The Tiger's going to get caught out here from the stun by Shad. And the Earth Spirit quickly crumbles to stone. But even still, space created. Well, that's what they'd be pinging in my pubs anyway. Okay, just goes back to that mid lane. Going to finish up this tier 2 tower all on his own. He's just doing a really good job at bouncing between the mid and the middle and the top lane, just farming up all the creep camps in between, making sure none of these lanes really push out too hard. Well, I say that, but in the mid lane they've actually pushed out quite a fair bit. Even still, Bloodstone now online for Koifer, so we'll see how many charges he's going to be able to rack up throughout this game. They're even going to do like a little chicken 3-man smoke, see what they're going to be able to find. They need to find someone on their own, because every single time they've tried to go for a kill, Aramis has always been nearby to just quickly tether in and heal someone up. They will actually find Aramis, go for those bounty runes, and he's going to end up falling. Unfortunately, he's not there to be able to save himself. Not quite how the hero works. Even still, he did get the bounty rune. Yeah, he got the bounty rune, so it ends up being 2-2 on the bounties. A worthy sacrifice. So Mickey, with that Skadi online, 800 gold working towards the Basher is his next item. But meanwhile, Abyssal Blade's finished now from side of Shad. So anyone he finds, he's going to be able to hold in place for a real long time. That Stormhammer plus the Abyssal Blade stun on top. Looks like potentially Seri got smoke online. Looks like maybe they wanted to go for a smoke up, but Shad just wants to carry on farming. There's a bit Viking, they're all positioned on the jungle side of the lane. Maybe they're thinking about trying to make some move onto Boxy, but I think they quickly realise it would be a very silly move. Meanwhile, all this space for Mickey, he's able to take another tier 2, and he's even start pressuring onto the tier 3 tower. There's no glyph for a minute. And there's only Boom here so far to try and push him back. This presence is enough to actually make him retreat. Meanwhile, the rest of Viking have done a smoke up and they're on the hunt. They spot out Koifer zipping around into the Roshan pit. Just scouting it out. And he will be their primary target. The beeline is straight up here. Gonna see if they can get a kill, but Insane is ready and waiting for the save if he needs it. And he is available with False Promise, able to keep Koifer alive, going to heal him up. Meanwhile, the rest of Liquid have all rotated around. Finally, the BKB gets popped out by Shad, who's going to try and stand toe-to-toe with Daigo, do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Aramis falls in the background. Finally, they get a kill on the Earth Spear, but Mickey's finally getting involved in this fight. Trying to stand up against Shad, dealing a lot of damage. Nice scream comes out with there from Boom, does a lot of damage onto Boxy. He's still barely alive, trying to escape, but he will eventually fall from the chase. Meanwhile, Shad jumps forward with the cleave damage. Insanely gets melted. Mickey comes in with a nice Mana Void, manages to get the kill onto the Earth Spirit. Onto the Earth Spirit. But he actually just gonna clean it up. Absolutely incredible fight there coming out from Liquid. Sorry, I got a little bit like tongue-tied towards the end of that. But Mickey comes in with a beautiful Mana Void, connects onto everyone of Vikings, does so much damage. 6,400 damage coming out from Mickey. It just completely flipped that fight on its head. There is buyback available on 3 of the Viking heroes, but they don't really want to have to use it. The glyph alone will be enough just to force Mickey back. Everyone else on the side of Liquid is just off on the other part. But the first fight we see that Mickey gets involved in, and it goes really well in Liquid's favour. They end up losing 2, sure, but it's a ton of kills going towards Koifer and Mickey. More charges for the Bloodstone. They're going to start working onto the Roshan now. There is a couple of members from Viking getting nearby. Toby's going to scout this out. Unfortunately, there's nothing else they can do. There's only the 2 of them nearby. So it's finally the first Aegis of this game going into the hands of Liquid. It's quite surprising to see it 29 minutes in, but it's just been one of those games. It's the first real fight where it's been a large portion, a real swing in the amount of hero presence on the map. For now, 10k gold lead for Liquid. Large chunk of XP lead as well. Nearly 15k. Meanwhile, Shad is jumping forward. He finds the grab onto Insane, but he gets the Ghost Step drop in time. He don't know if he's going to be able to survive this. Meanwhile, Koifer jumps in the back. Boom gets found. Aramis quickly falls as well. Look like maybe they were going to try and make a move onto Toby, but everyone completely switched targets. So moving on to this Shad. Big zip forward from Koifa. And with the help from Mickey, that's an easy kill. Viking, they just tap out. They realise how far they are behind. So Mickey's turned into an absolute monster. They haven't been able to find him at all for the entirety of this game. And he's just been off farming. 451 CS at the end of the game. 5-0-4 in the KDA. Lovely game there by Mickey, but you can't just say it was all Mickey. Just the rest of Liquid has done such a good job at making so much space for him. Boxy was an absolute tanky demon himself. There was not much the Viking could do to actually kill him. And I mean, we just saw every single time the Viking looked like they were going to find a kill, Liquid just TP'd out. And even in the point where they had the means to cancel the TP, they couldn't cancel the TP. It was completely ruined. It was completely ruined. But even still, very well played there by Team Liquid, taking the first game of this best of 5. So it's definitely, it's not super scary now for the side of Viking. They've still got a couple of games wiggle room to play with, but they've got to learn quickly. They can't just willy-nilly throw games like that away. They need to concentrate, think about what they're doing. Maybe it was a little bit of a mistake in the drafting phase, maybe just forgetting that they didn't have too much lockdown. But even still, we'll see if they can rally and bring this, make this game to a real exciting one to watch. But even still, if you guys have enjoyed the stream that I've been able to do, if you've found it entertaining at all, then please think about subscribing onto my Twitch, Twitter, and my YouTube account. I do various different streams on games, and if you want to stay updated, I do post on Twitter on whatever games I'm going to end up casting. So if you are interested, please think about following me and stay tuned for the next game of Liquid versus Viking.gg. I'll see you in a bit.